Hey everybody, welcome to the Lorcana Lounge. I'm Brandon. This is Logan. Today we're going to go over the new Set 3 drop into the Inklands of Lorcana. They brought a lot of exciting things, mainly in locations. It's a whole new mechanic. It's going to be a huge game changer, literally. It is, yeah, it's going to be massive. I'm really excited. It's dropping this Friday, the 23rd. We got quite a few events to go to get as much gameplay in as much as we can this weekend. It's going to be super exciting. But to start this off, today we're going over Amber first, and just an introduction real quick to locations. So this is a location card. They're sideways, unlike other regular cards. This is still your cost, whether it's inkable or not. So you 1 ink to play this card, obviously. This is your cost to move a character to the location, so it only costs 1 ink. You can do that the turn the character is played, which is helpful. And then this is how much willpower the location has. So you have to hit it for 4, but when you do attack it, it doesn't do any damage back. And every turn, at the start of your turn, you gain 1 lore every time this card's in play. A lot of locations have effects. This one's a basic one right now. It is going to really, really change the game. I'm extremely excited for him.
Yep.
But since we're doing that, let's go to the first card, and Logan will read it off to you.
So, first card is Blue. Stand it up.
Yep.
So the card is Blue. Blue is Von Bruenwald the 13th. He's a 3-cost, non-inkable, 0/3. He's got Bodyguard with 1 lore, and when this character is banished, gain 2 lore. So this is another one of those cards that is. There was a couple of them in set 2. I know Merlin the Goat was kind of this way, where he's hard to deal with to prevent that lore gain. So if you're getting near the end of the game and you're at 17, 18 lore, you can just having him on the board becomes a real issue for your opponent, because you have to find a way to try and deal with this that's not gonna banish it. You're gonna have to, I don't know, let it go, return it to hand, something like that to try and slow your opponent down if they get up to 18, 19. Of course, by the time you get that late in the game, everything becomes hard to deal with. But this is just that much more difficult. I don't know. I kind of like it. Non-inkable always makes me uncomfortable. I get really nervous with those uninkables. I always have a tendency to put too many of them in my deck. But 0/3, I don't know. I don't know that it'll get a whole lot of play. I forgot to mention he's a rare. Do want to mention that, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think this would be a nice one to throw in, especially at a 3 cost. You could have him as an early bodyguard, and to basically for them to control your board, they would have to get rid of him, and then you automatically gain 2 lore. I could see him using him over some other bodyguards just for that lore aspect. And if they don't take care of him, you just keep questing for 1.
Yeah. Do you know if Blue? I know we're gonna get into it as we go through, but I don't think there's a Blue shift in yet. I don't think there's any in this one that I know of. I don't remember seeing one. I mean, literally, we're on card 1, so card 2 could be a shiftable Blue, but I don't think it is.
I don't believe so. I'm almost positive it's not.
Okay. All right.
But we can go right into it, which it's not. It's Bernard. He is a inkable 4-cost. He hits for 1, willpower of 5, quest for 2. He is a rare. And at the end of your turn, if this character is exerted, you may ready another chosen character of yours. That
Interesting.
That could be pretty strong.
Yeah.
That could you could definitely pull off some combos for that because it doesn't say they can't quest.
Well, that would be at the end of the turn. So once they ready, they can't quest. It's the end of the turn.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But it does protect them.
It would protect them.
So
I'm trying to think of other than protection, what would.
I'm thinking protection's going to be the biggest thing there.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Just so they can't get attacked.
Yeah, because there's nothing that you do. Since there is nothing you can do at in your opponent's turn, I'm trying to think is there anything that has an effect when it's readied. I know there's some cards that have effects while they're exerted.
Christopher Robin. Isn't it anytime his character is readied, he gains 2 lore or something like that?
No. I don't Ooh, that actually
Am I thinking of the wrong person?
No, I don't know. Christopher Robin. Go look.
What's his number?
I don't know.
Oh.
It is set 2, card 2. Yes.
Whenever you ready this character, if you have 2 or more other characters in play, gain 2 lore.
So there you go. There's a mechanic for it.
Yeah. And that would
trigger.
The turn, if you ready him, it would still trigger that.
As long as you have 2 or more other characters, which obviously you're going to have one other because you've got Bernard.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah.
That's an interesting. I think your primary use case is going to be for to protect. That's going to be a lot more reliable. Yeah. You can protect anybody.
He's expensive too. He's
a Christopher Robin's a 6 cost. I haven't seen Christopher Robin, I don't think, in any decks that I know he's not been in one I've put together for set 2. I don't think I've played anybody. I haven't seen him in play.
I don't think I've ever seen him in play either.
But it is interesting, that they've got that in the game already. Could easily see more of that. And obviously the protection aspect is pretty good anyway. So that's just a bonus effect for Christopher Robin. Yeah, no, I think that's going to be my main piece for it. 5 toughness, 4 cost, pretty good. That's for 2. I like it.
If you have, I guess if you have a third character in play, you could gain at least 6 off of Bernard, Christopher Robin, and then whatever that third character has.
Yeah, maybe
it's not bad off one turn.
Maybe 7 lore because you're gonna get 4 for Bernard and Christopher, and then Christopher readies for 2 more that put you up at 6. So the other card's gonna have to have some lore, right? Or I guess you could just attack or do whatever. Yeah, reckless,
not rush. Yeah,
at least 6. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a rare card. It's not huge, but it could definitely be put in for some combos.
I'm sure there's some combos that we're probably missing too. We may see them as we go through the cards. That would make it even more fun, but even using some of the last sets.
Yeah, again, real quick, we haven't really studied the new cards yet. That's kind of why we're doing this before launch, so we can actually get a little more familiar with them.
Yeah.
So when we do play this weekend, do a better job.
Yeah. We got a draft event on Friday that I don't know what I'm even looking for, frankly. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. All right, third card, super rare. It's Chernabog, Evildoer. He is a 10 cost non-inkable, really expensive, but for each card in your discard, you may pay 1 less ink to play this character. So he's a 9 power, 9 toughness, 3 questing character that gets cheaper for every character card in your discard. He also has, when you play this character, shuffle all character cards from your discard into your deck. So, going to be useful in maybe some of those rush decks. You've got a lot of little minions in there. End up filling up your discard with a bunch of cheap characters. End up getting Chernabog out for How early?
This is going in my puppies deck.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
thinking.
man, this is going in my puppies deck.
How early could you really get a Chernobog out? If you played
About turn 5. If you played a whole new world and if you had a bunch of characters in your hand, you play a whole new world plus the few that you've had. So I guess turn 6 you'd be able to afford that if you can't sing on turn 5.
yes, I think it's possible on turn 4 be the earliest you could do it. Play a 1 cost on turn 1, 1 cost on turn 2, 1 cost on turn 2, 3 1 costs on turn 3. You've played 6 characters. Kill them all somehow.
Pay 4 ink.
You have 4 ink for that. Now, would you have even enough cards? That'd be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You could only do that if you went second. And that would be every card.
And only drew characters.
Yeah. So you'd have, because you have to ink every
be...
turn. So you'd have to ink 1 every turn. That would be 11 cards in 4 turns. And then all you have is a 9/9 Chernobog on the board that would let it go the next turn, and you have no cards in hand. You're top decking on turn 5. So infeasible, but theoretically possible to get it out on turn 4. I think you're right. Probably you're looking at turn 5, turn 6 realistically, at least.
Yeah.
Even like getting it out on turn 5, I don't think would be good. So you're really looking at this going to be turn 6, 7. It's going to be pretty late in the game. You're only really going to be reducing the cost by a couple. Obviously, you can get them out with something like a Mufasa. Allows you to play it for free. If you've got Doc or things like that, also still allow you to get out for cheaper Lantern. They still reduce his cost just like anything else. So, I don't know. I don't think we'll get a ton of play. But it's one of those.
I think this is
I like
2 of.
I like cards like this because they're kind of fun to build around, right? You try to find a way to use them. At least I do.
Yeah.
So I kind of appreciate that. Like I said, I don't know that I'll get a ton of play, but he's at least.
I think he'll get
combo.
play. I don't think he'll be in a meta deck.
Yeah. Watch us.
I think a lot of people will try their hardest to play him as much as possible.
Watch us be really wrong.
Probably.
Counting on it.
Number 4?
Number 4.
Cool.
Perfect. There's no card 4. How about 4A? B, C, D, and E. Maybe.
This is one I am super excited about.
Yeah.
So this is 4A. This is Dalmatian Puppy, Tailwagger. This is one of the, I don't know how many unnamed Dalmatian puppies there are, but there's 5 different card versions of it. There's 4A, and 4B, and 4C, and 4D, and 4E.
They did load on my screen. There's C.
I'm just going really slow.
Gotcha. So these are 5 of the same card, effectively, but they created some different artworks, which I think is awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
Different color collars and different stances and stuff, and they're just adorable. My favorite thing is they're 2 cost. They're all inkable. They have 3 willpower and 2 strength. That means Grab Your Swords is not going to immediately wipe them, which is really, I think that's why they did that, just so the whole deck won't be destroyed by Grab Your Swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited for a puppies deck. I'm going to run it like crazy. It's probably going to be trash, but I will be excited if I win once. But yeah, I like it. I like the design a lot. Quest for 1. They're commons, luckily. So if you're going to get 4 of every one, it'll be little easier. Foils on the other hand.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, oof.
Yeah.
All right. So not much to talk about on that one.
Nope.
It's a vanilla card, kind of.
Pretty
It's not really
plain.
vanilla.
Other than
You can have 99 of them.
other than the 99 copies.
That's a crazy mechanic, I guess, because what other card can you have 99 of? Nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not too much to go over that. Number 5,
Joshua Sweet, the Doctor. 4-cost inkable. He is a 1/5 bodyguard that quests for 2. It's another common. Not a lot to say here. 5 toughness is pretty tough to deal with. I'm not thinking this is gonna get a ton of play. I'm comparing this to the Steel the Prince from the Floodborn set. The Prince is a 1/3 quest for 2 with resist 2, and I think he was a 3-cost.
He is 3-cost. 3-cost and inkable still.
So I'm not thinking this is gonna get a ton of play. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess maybe there's some decks that you might want to have that you're not pairing with steel that you might want to have a bodyguard in. But if you're running steel, that's kind of a no-brainer to run the Prince over this.
I still think I'd run Baloo over this.
The 0/3 bodyguard with kill him for 2 lore.
Yeah.
The downside with Baloo is he only quests for 1.
Yep.
But I could see the argument. Again, Blue's uninkable 0/3. I definitely could see the argument for sure. It's I just don't see Joshua Sweet getting played too much. If you had to make the call between Baloo and the Prince, I don't know. That becomes a much tougher decision, right? So you've got a 1/3 bodyguard questing for 2, or a 0/3 bodyguard questing for 1 with when the character's banished gain 2 lore. You also lose uninkable for that. So, I don't know. Anyway, going back to Joshua Sweet, I don't see him getting a ton of play. But you got to have some of these in the set. You're always going to have them. So
gotta have commons in there. Number 6, Kita. She's awesome. Great artwork. She costs 1. She's inkable. 2 strength, 2 willpower. Plus for 1. She's a vanilla card, no effect. Fun fact that says "Welcome to the Inklands." In Atlantean.
Yep, these are staples, right? I think every set's having some 1-cost 2/2s with 1 lore.
Yep.
You got to have them.
I think more colors need 1-cost 1/1 with 2 lore. Amber already has theirs with Lilo, but
yeah, I think that's
hopefully more
one of the
colors
ways they're trying to differentiate the different colors, right? Is not everybody's going to have the same stuff, but
right.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the new sets keep. I haven't got past the 6th card of the set yet, so there may be a new color 1/1 in here. I don't know.
Let's check out 7.
Number 7, our first legendary, Kita, Protector of Atlantis. Really digging this artwork. I think the foil on this could be amazing, and I think this might be one of the Enchanteds, which does look amazing. Anyway, the Protector of Atlantis is a 5-cost 3/5. It's our first shift character, so that 1-cost 2/2 can shift here. Quests for 2 lore, and has, when you play this character, all characters get -3 power until the start of your next turn. Very interesting. It's kind of I could see this being really strong, especially in always. The mid to late game, your opponent has some characters out.
Yep.
Really, really strong. Because it's just gonna significantly delay your opponent, right? So -3 power is pretty big. Yeah, that's just that's really strong. That basically gives all characters on the board resist 3, right? That's just another way of
Yeah,
thinking
basically.
about it. Other than I guess it doesn't nerf grab your swords and effects like that, but I think it's strong. I think it's really cool. I think it'll be I'll be curious to see how it ends up getting played. It is one of those that it's just a when you play it effect. But the fact that you could get that out on turn 3, if you're falling behind on board presence, you can get it out on turn 3. If you're doing okay in beginning of the turn, you could shift it in on turn 3. If you have a good board presence, you might decide to hold on to it till later, and then drop it a little bit later once your opponent gets more characters on the board. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on with this.
Yeah.
I always like the shifting in for less than the cost of the total character. I mean,
yeah, the first card.
Play one for, first card is 1, and then shift for 3, cheaper than 5. The Queen did that last set, and I always love playing her.
Yeah, the Queen was really strong.
This is gonna be
last set because she was
super strong.
Yeah, one
her
quest
is awesome.
shift for 2. So she was a 5-cost character, so really big.
Super cheap.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this one's gonna get a lot of play. For me at least.
Yeah. Look forward to see what all can do with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That could definitely be a savior late game for
Absolutely.
sure. Number 8. Another puppy. Lucky the 15th. He is uninkable. 4 cost, 2 strength, 3 willpower. Good as new. Exert. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put each character card with cost 2 or less. 99 puppies. Or Dalmatian puppy, tail wagger. Or less into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Whenever this character quests, if you have 4 or more other characters in play, your other characters get +1 more this turn. Jesus. Could you imagine just having... So you exert it. Oh no, because when this character quests, you can't do both.
Yeah, so the good is new, the revealing the top cards of your deck is a tap effect or an exhaust effect, so you're going to have to exhaust them to do that, which obviously if you exhaust for that effect, you're not going to get the second half of the card that turn.
Right. Unless you can re-ready.
Yeah.
Man, having 4 Dalmatian tailwaggers on the other side with this card and then just quest like crazy. That's going to be nuts.
Yeah, good. I mean, it is one of the cards that is, what do they call that? Where when you're ahead, it makes you more ahead. There's a name for that, but
winning
snowball, kind of a snowballing card, right? Where if you've already got a bunch of characters on the board, you're probably already in pretty good shape, but now you're gonna quest with this guy. Now all your little 1 questers are now questing for 2. That's pretty big. Obviously you get 2 luckies down, or find a way to ready him and let him quest twice. That gets even more insane. Of course, there's not too many ways to ready a character that would still allow him to quest, but if you find it, that'd be pretty sick. That'd be a way for you to obviously get both effects off. I think, this is rare. I don't know if you mentioned that.
I did not.
Uninkable. An interesting card. It's obviously going in the puppy decks, any of those flood decks.
Yeah.
Cute card.
All the puppies.
All the puppies
Just
are
amazing.
cute cards. Yeah. I don't know. Not too much to say about it.
Yeah.
Number 9, Minnie Mouse, the musical artist. It's a 2-cost 1/3, 1 power, 3 toughness, singer 3, and then quest for 1, and has entourage. Whenever you play a character with bodyguard, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. And this Minnie is a rare.
I don't think I've seen this card yet.
I don't think I have either. I've not seen a couple of the cards we've come across though. I think it'll be good. I think I like to see that there are more things interacting with bodyguard. Creating more bodyguard decks, I think, will be fun.
Yeah.
In the first set we had the Musketeers Tabard. Had that in a couple of my decks and never felt like it was working well. Always either drew it or the bodyguards. I like seeing more things with bodyguard. I think, like I said, I think that'll be kind of cool. See how it could work. I think for a long time I undervalued Singer. Steel Song definitely made me stop that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, otherwise, I think a pretty standard Minnie Mouse, right? 1/3, healing 2 is always going to be good.
I feel like with all the gold, it could be a good looking foil.
Yeah, the sparkles in the card could. Yeah, they have an opportunity to really make it pop.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that.
Yeah. I'll say they've been kind of hit or miss, about 50-50 on some of the cards. They have a really good foil opportunity and they really capitalize on it, and then the rest of the time they've got one that I think looks like it could be insane, and it's just a very generic, all of its foil.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll see.
Basic. Terrible. Number 10. Miss Bianca, Rescue Aid Society agent. Another singer. Already trumps Minnie there.
Yeah.
She costs 2. She's inkable. She sings for 4. 2/2. Quest for 1. She's a common.
Wow.
So real quick, I'm gonna go back.
So Minnie is a rare 2-cost 1/3.
Also quest for 1. Yeah.
So
why?
Wow.
Miss Bianca wins.
Yeah, I'm curious. You might end up with a Minnie Mouse in the bodyguard decks, but I'd be curious what bodyguards there are maybe in this set that make Minnie that much stronger. To make her, also a rare.
Yeah.
Swinging for 3, 1/3. I guess Bianca falls to grab your swords and a couple of those other 2 damage tricks, like a big tank or something, where big tank's king effect. I don't know. That's an interesting one to me. I mean, it's a common.
That's kind of crazy.
I'm leaning this way generally, I think, but I'd also have to do some checking. I don't know how many 4-cost songs, like how many specifically 4-cost songs there are. So what songs do you get to sing with Bianca you don't get to sing with Minnie Mouse?
That's true.
There might not be too many. I know there's a lot of 3s and 5s. I don't know too many 4s. Again, who knows what they're adding in this set? We haven't gotten that far, but okay. Interesting. Miss Bianca.
Yeah. Number 11.
Number 11. Mr. Snoops, the inept businessman. 6-cost inkable. Is a 4/8 big booty.
Big booty.
2 lore common. So a question for 2. 4/8 6-cost. Really a pretty vanilla, right? Need something kind of big and beefy to stay on the board. 4 attacks, decent punching power. 2 lores, decent questing power. Decent mid game. I don't know that he's gonna get a lot of play. I think I'm likely to find a different 6 cost I'd rather put in, but not bad.
Pretty basic.
Yep.
Number 12. Nani. She is 5 cost. Inkable. She's a protective sister. Strength of 3, willpower of 6. She is a bodyguard. Quest for 2. She's uncommon. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah. I like, seems like they've been doing a lot of 2 lore bodyguards. I kind of like it.
Yes. It is helpful.
Because obviously you're wanting to probably quest with them on your turn. But I like it a lot because you're also more inclined to play your bodyguard in bodyguard when you play the card. And with it being a 2 lore, that makes it vulnerable that first turn, right? So you're not guaranteed to get that 2 lore. That gives your opponent a chance to deal with it. But yeah, I like the 2 questing characters. 3-6 for 5 is okay. I'll take it. It's all right.
Yeah, so I just pulled up Maximus. He's 5 cost, inkable. He's a 4/5 instead of 3/6 with bodyguard, but he also has support, but he quests for 1.
Yeah, the support on bodyguard
pretty similar
is, or the support on Maximus is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
4 is
it's
huge hitter
nuts
when you support that.
Yeah.
So that's a. Do you want support or do you want extra lore? That would be where that came down to, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
13.
Orville, the ace pilot. 2 cost inkable, 1/4 character, common, questing for 1. Very vanilla. I like the 1/4. I think this might be the first 1/4 we've seen for 2 cost. 1/3 seems to be the more common.
Yeah, I think so.
Place for it, but yeah, I don't see a ton of use for him. But he does trigger your Lucky the puppy that lets you take all your 2 costs in. Triggers the Rockstar Stitch, lets you draw for a 2 cost. So I could see that being really good in that deck. Otherwise, I don't see too much use for him.
Yeah, being a 2 cost and just throwing stuff out in the field, he could be useful in that. And
yeah,
especially he'd be on the board a couple turns if you drop him early in the game.
Yeah,
4 willpower.
Yeah, I like it for those flood decks. You're trying to flood the board, but outside of that, I don't see too much use for him.
All right, number 14. Patch. Intimidating pup. Another adorable Dalmatian puppy. He costs 4. He is inkable. 3 strength, 4 willpower. He gets to bark. You exert him. Chosen character gets -2 attack until the start of your next turn. And he quests for 1. And he's a common. I feel like he's a little expensive.
Yep.
I don't know. The -2 strength would be useful, especially if you're trying to protect your other puppies.
Yeah.
That's all I could really see it for, is just trying to keep their strength down to protect the little puppies.
Yeah, I think that -2, right? It'd be good for like a pile-on effect. You know, if you've got a lot of puppies or a lot of little guys out on your board, you can give somebody -2 power and then run 2 or 3 things into it, which effectively comes. You could prevent 4 or 6 damage if you've got 2 or 3 characters running into it. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those where I'd need to do some pretty deep thinking on it to see how often that -2 is actually going to save me.
Yeah.
I feel like with those puppies, they're 2/3s. That would save them most of the time, right? So maybe might be useful for that, but it's just the chosen character.
Yeah, just one.
Actually, well, I was gonna go and say what was it? Kita was I think a 5 cost, 3/5 -3 to all characters for a turn. Now that's just one turn, the turn you player, but I don't know. See, I don't think might be good in limited. So like if you're for the drafts, maybe that's useful. I don't know. I'm not very good at limited trying to play drafts stuff like that.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know.
I can see it coming in handy in very certain circumstances. I mean, it all depends on what deck they're playing, really.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be interesting. Number 15.
15. Perdita. I don't kill me for pronunciation if that's wrong. Devoted Mother. It's a 6 cost uninkable. 1 strength, 6 willpower. That quest for 2 and has Come Along Children. Whenever you play this character and whenever she quests, you may play a character with cost 2 or less from your discard for free. And for that effect, it's going to be a legendary, of course.
Yes.
I don't know. That seems like it could be really strong. 6 power is I'm sorry, 6 toughness, 6 willpower is I think pretty good.
Yeah.
Not going to be real easy to deal with, even if you only get 2 puppies off of that. Or 2 characters out of your discard for that. You player, which you get 1. You quest only 1 time, you get another. That still seems really strong, right? So you paid 6, you got 2 lore and 2 cost characters on the board.
Yeah.
And have a 1/6 on the board that can do that again next turn. Really strong. I think this is going to be one of your primary targets for a removal spell, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
I just noticed she is the first character that I have noticed that has a drastically different art style in the text box.
Oh, it's the leaves.
It has leaves in there, which matches kind of her art style on the top. That is interesting. I have not noticed that before. Huh. I'm flipping through some of the other cards we've looked at, just previously.
Same.
And I am not really seeing it. I guess if you look at cards, which card number is it? 7. It's the Kita Protector of Atlantis. That has a drastically
She's
different
also legendary.
bottom. Yeah, also legendary. Interesting. Wonder if that's going to be. Wonder if I've just never noticed it on any of the previous legendaries, or if that's a new thing. Well, you go to the next card. I will look at that. If you have anything to add,
Yeah,
I guess anything to add for that card.
Nope, I'm good on that one. We'll go on to Piglet. He is a super rare. Costs 2. He's inkable. He attacks for 2. Willpower of 2. And I'm the captain. While you have 2 or more other characters in play, this character gets +2 lore. I mean, if Puppies and Piglet can't play together, that's perfect. Let's see. So
yeah. This also matches with the Christopher Robin from the last set. So, is that going to be a Winnie the Pooh theme? More characters in play, the better.
Oh yeah, 2 or
Um,
more characters.
yeah, super rare. Interesting.
Drop him on turn 3.
You can drop him on turn 2.
Well,
Play a character on
drop him
turn
on turn
3.
2. Yeah, there it
Quest
is.
for 3 on turn 3 with them.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I like it.
That's gonna be huge. That's for a 2-drop. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I just double checked, went back to the previous set. I have not seen that alternate artifact in the text box on the previous sets, but it does seem to be a common theme throughout this set.
Interesting.
Something to pay attention to. That's kind of cool.
It is cool that they're doing new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's neat. I like it.
17.
17. What do we got? Pluto, the Determined Defender. He is a 7-cost inkable, but has Shift 5. He is a 3 strength, 8 willpower character with Quests 2. He has Bodyguard and Guard Dog. At the start of your turn, remove up to 3 damage from this character, and he is a rare. Wow.
That's gonna be huge.
Yeah, a 5. I say a 5-cost. I haven't seen cheaper Pluto yet.
He's probably next.
He's probably next. It's probably a good guess considering the cards are in alphabetical order. So I think that like a Shift 5, that is a 3/8 that heals for 3 every turn, and Quest for 2. Oof, that doesn't feel like a rare to me.
Honestly, yeah.
But I want it.
Yeah, that's. We've been talking about a lot of bodyguards this set, and I think he takes the cake so far.
Yeah. I mean, 3/8. 8 is hard to deal with. This does make patch. Like, this is a really good target for patch, though. So give him -2 power, -2 strength, makes him a 1/8. And you're gonna have to flood 2 or 3 characters into it to deal with that 8 toughness. And you're also gonna have to just do 8 damage in 1 turn, right? Or you're gonna have to use some other more toughness regardless removal effect, let it go, or Hades or whatever, Dragonfire. But not everything has that answer. That is,
especially on turn 5.
yeah, especially on turn 5, right? Yeah, crazy.
Yes, Dragonfire, but let it go.
Yeah, those are both turn 5, but I mean, you have to have that in your hand ready to play on your next turn, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you don't have to have it that quickly, right? He's just questing for, quote unquote, just questing for 2 every turn. But you're also not able to deal with the other targets that you might need to deal with because he has bodyguard. That's interesting. Gonna make you desperate for an answer.
Yeah. I like him a lot. I think
he really feels like a legendary. I'm really surprised he's not. But okay.
He will be my puppy bodyguard. Number 18.
Let's go find the other
Hey,
Plutos.
look at that. It's Pluto. Wow. So he's a 1 cost, and the other one was Shift 5.
Yeah.
So again, only 1 cheaper, but cheaper than total cost. I like it. So 1 cost is uninkable. Pluto, friendly pooch, 0 attack, 2 willpower. Good dog. Exert. You pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. Wow. So a 1-drop lantern or a 1-drop dock.
Yeah. 0/2. So kind of easy to deal with, but
Yeah.
you're not going to answer it on turn 1. So basically on turn 2, you get a 3-drop for free for the cost of a Pluto, right?
Yeah. You get a 3-drop for free, or you could.
I'd say a 3-drop for free. You get a 3-drop on turn 2 for the cost of a Pluto.
Right. Or you play him turn 1, you play Lantern turn 2, and then he can drop a 2 for free on turn 2.
Yeah. Yep. Use Lantern and Pluto
Multiple.
on turn 2 to play a turn 2 for free. I play a 2
Start
cost
stacking
for
stuff up.
free and have a Lantern and Pluto in play. Yeah. Drop a
There's a
bodyguard to
couple.
protect Pluto.
Yeah.
Jeez. Interesting.
There's.
Yeah. I like it.
Both Plutos are pretty good.
Yeah.
He's an uncommon. And I'm not mad at either of those.
Yeah. Historically, uncommons have, to me, felt kind of hard to get. You know, if you're not buying a ton of cards. Obviously, I mean, if you're buying boxes and boxes, it's not a big deal. Or singles, they're not too expensive. But I remember for both of us, I think one of the Dr. Faciliers, the random uncommons in the first set, just was our
he was a rare.
last to get. Was he rare?
Yeah, he was a rare that we were looking for.
Yeah. I thought there was an
Yeah,
uncommon. There must have been a different uncommon I'm thinking of that I had that issue with, or I just couldn't pull it.
There are some uncommons that I would expect to have a couple playsets of, and I don't.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Crazy. All right, I like it.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yep, same.
Number 19.
19. Super rare. Pongo, the Determined Father. 3 cost, inkable. 3 strength, 2 willpower, so it's a 3/2 with that quests for 1 and has Twilight Bark. Once per turn, you may pay 2 ink to reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a character card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck. I like this a lot. This is essentially a draw card for 2. You know, you get in the mid or late game, get kind of later in the game. Obviously, he's a 3 cost. But once per turn, you just get to pay 2 and draw a card, as long as it's a character. Yeah, I mean,
A little risky, but
potentially, yeah. I mean, you know, it's going to cost you 2 ink, but you know, I don't know how many games. You know, Amber, I'm trying to think through how many draw effects Amber has. You know, it's got the Ariel lets you draw songs. It's got Be Our Guest lets you draw characters. Look at top cards, grab some characters. Otherwise, I don't think they have a ton of draw effects. And this is like a pretty good one because you also, that doesn't cost. You know, Pongo's can still challenge. He can still quest whatever you want there. He could sing a 3 cost.
How to use them up.
So, I like that.
Yeah. I mean that's obviously aimed at puppy decks.
Since that isn't an exhaust effect, could you do that the turn you play it? You have 5 ink. Could you play him and then immediately pay 2 to look at the top card of your deck and draw? I don't know. Tell us in the comments.
I would say yes, because it's kind of like a sheer con effect. If you're one of your other characters attacks,
yeah,
you still get that extra lore.
Yeah, it's not a. I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I like it. The puppy deck is adding up.
Yeah.
Number 20. Another Queen of Hearts.
Another Queen of Hearts.
Yeah. I gotta say, after all the foils, the foil spots that she has wasted in set 2 for me, I'm a little salty with her. But whatever. Here she is. She costs 3. She's inkable. She attacks for 3. 3 willpower. She's the Wonderland Empress. Always here are my ways.
Always here are my ways.
Always here are my. That's what I was like. I said that wrong, and I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, whenever this character quests, your other villain characters get +1 lore this turn. Heard a lot of people talking about wanting to make a villain deck.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's enough villains yet, and I don't. I mean, other than this card, I don't know how many villains there are in the new set, so I don't know how useful that's really going to be.
Yeah, I think
you got Hades and Amber.
You've got there's a fair number of villains at this point. I don't know if there's enough to make a deck. I think we're definitely getting close. Maybe we finally got there. I know I kind of felt that way with the first set, right? There was the Amber Hades that has some villain effect. I can't remember what it is. But I remember wanting to make a deck with him initially. He was one of my first I think he was maybe my first foil or one of my first couple foils. And I was like, wanted to make use of the card. And I looked around and there was not nearly enough foils in the first set. We might be there now. You got, I can think of a handful of them, but I'm not going to say them all out loud in case I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's
But
what
there's plenty of Queen of Hearts. Make an Amber Red deck. You've got like 6 Queen of Heart villains right there. So
there's a lot Queen of Hearts in red. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Not terrible. Not great.
Yeah.
Uncommon. I don't know if I said that, but
well, I think it's only useful in your villain deck, but maybe we can make one now.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
21.
We got Rolly the Hungry Pup. He's a 3-cost inkable. 3-cost inkable that's a 3/3 questing for 1 and support. I like supports a lot.
3/3 is not bad.
3/3 is not bad. 3-cost is fine. The support for 3 is, that can be big. You can really make somebody pretty beefy with a 3-cost. Allows you to protect Rolly, and then, but if anybody attacks him, he still has to get popped back in the face on the next turn. I like support. I like Rolly.
Yep. Rolly is. Yep.
As we're getting through these characters, I think we're getting close to the end of the characters. I'm trying to think through now. The pups. Are there any puppies that I think I want in my normal non-puppy deck? Yes, I think some of the daddy pup, the daddy that lets you tap to
Yep.
What was it? When you play him and when what is his? Holy cow, we just looked at him. Pongo.
Are you talking about Mommy Pup?
No,
Perdita?
Pongo. I am thinking of Pongo. Oh, pay 2 to draw.
Okay.
Pay 2 to draw. Yeah.
If it's a character, put it in your hand.
Yeah, I could see that being good in like the current Mufasa meta deck, right? So you've got almost all characters in there already. So
there's very
he's
little
not a 4 of, right? But I could see putting a couple in. He'd be really nice to have.
I could see Rolly going in that even.
Late. Maybe, yeah. I need to look at the deck to see what I would want to take out, right?
Yeah, that's the tough part.
They're both 3
I think that's going to be the hardest part about set 3 for me is the fact that we're just going to get so many cards. I don't know how to keep my deck at 60.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely, really it's always that way when a new set comes out. I want to use all the new stuff, but the old stuff was so useful.
Yeah. Can't just dump it.
No.
Number 22. Another Tinkerbell. Generous Fairy. She is an uninkable 4-cost. Strength of 1. Willpower of 4. Make a new friend. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order.
So that is a CR guest, right? With a 1/4 character that can quest for 1.
Yeah, just I don't like those cards specifically because you're risking 3 cards. Sure, out of those 4 cards, you might pull a really good card and put that in your hand, but the other 3 cards may also be just as useful. But now they're on the bottom of your deck.
Yeah, so
that's the risk of it.
I'm pretty sure statistically, you basically get to look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and you probably get to put the best one in your hand. That's better than being able to draw a card. also statistically speaking, whether the card is the next card in your deck or the bottom card of your deck, it feels different when you first, like when you draw it. Obviously, after you draw it, it is different. But before you draw it, you don't know that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get ripped up in the comments for trying to talk about statistics when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I do think it is. I think it's
That's
good.
okay, flameless.
I think that effect is good. This card, you pay 2 more, you lose the inkable, and you get to keep a 1/4 for 1 on the board. I think that this could be really good if you are running some of the shift Tinkerbells, right? You could shift on top of this and then get that effect the same turn. So maybe you could put this in for one of the other cheaper Tinkerbells if you don't like the cheaper Tinkerbells. Kind of a meh card to me, but
The only shift Tinkerbell is
it the Big Tink is the only one?
Big Tink, and she shifts for 4, so you would be able to play this until turn 8.
Well,
or wait till the next turn.
What I'm thinking is you wait till the next turn, and it allows you to kind of sneak in a Big Tink, right? So you get to play Big Tink, do 1 damage to everything, and then challenge something and do 2 more damage to something else on the same turn. Or obviously you can shockwave everything and then quest for 2 instead of questing for 1. I have lost more than 1 game by somebody shifting in a larger questing character. I think I've left them at 19. They end up shifting something in and winning, which hurts my feelings.
Or wipe the board when you shift a Big Tink on a Big Tink.
Or weird stuff like that, right? So, yeah,
that was a proud moment.
Yeah, I think it's good, right? So it has its places. I don't think this definitely not going to go in every deck. Probably pretty niche locations. If you wanted to have a BR guest in your Bossa deck, this is a way to have a character that is a BR guest. So it reduces the chance of missing.
But still get the effect.
But yeah. So, yeah. Okay. It's okay.
23.
23, a pretty vanilla.
Wendy Darling.
Talented sailor. 2 cost, inkable, 1 strength, 3 power, or 3 willpower. Quest for 2. Uncommon. Staple, right? You've seen these before?
Yeah.
2 cost, 1/3 with 2 lore. Just a different one. Different color, I think.
I think, we went over 1 that was 2 drop, 2/2, right? So just change it to 1/3.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not great.
Yeah. Dodges, grab your swords, but that's about it. Quest for 2.
That's the big one.
Decent. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather have the 1/3 Minnie Mouse that's evasive, questing for 2. 1 more ink.
Yeah.
So,
She's what? She's 3, right?
Yep. The 3 cost, evasive. 1/3 for 2 lore. So, Wendy's.
Not bad.
Yeah.
24. 99 puppies.
So we are into our first non-character.
Yep.
So there were 23 character cards in Amber.
First action of the game. Set. Uninkable. 5 cost. 99 puppies. It's an action. Whenever one of your characters quests this turn, gain 1 lore. Flood your board of puppies and quest away.
How many characters do you have to have on the board to make this good?
Well,
it's not a song, which you probably wouldn't want to
sing
end
of the game. Yeah, you'd want that character quest. I mean, close to end of a game. Even if you had 5 characters on board and they all quest for 1, and you have 10 lore, you win.
I do think they are adding more things like this that allow you to get to that victory condition on the last turn. That was one of my complaints early on in this set. I've complained to you a couple times about it.
Yep.
Where it feels like the game is over the turn before the game is over because you see that your opponent's about to win, so there's nothing you can do to stop it, and you end up scooping before it like officially ends. You end up conceding on the your last turn instead of having your opponent win. It's a little thing. It's not like I wanted to do all the questing and it or anything like that, but it is just kind of this weird mental sync where it's like, I think I win next turn. I think I win next turn. Oh, they just quit. Which was because I did win.
I don't
next
actually
turn.
get to win, but I did.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting to me, but I don't know. I could. So this is a way for that to kind of, to your point. You could be on. I mean, even if you only have 2 characters on your board, but if you're at 16 ink or 16 lore, go ahead and play this and win the game, right? Just do it. I think it's a pretty situational card. Not going to be a 4 of. I know it's one of those where I don't feel it's very useful, but when I lose to it, I'm going to be really upset. So,
a lot of people said that about Pack Tactics.
Yeah, I've lost Pack Tactics a couple times. Just kind of
I've
weird
won
stuff,
a few times
right?
on Pack
So,
Tactics.
We'll see.
Yeah.
See.
It's definitely going in the puppies deck. I mean, even if you're desperate at the end of the game, you have this card and 2 puppies. I mean, that's 4 lore.
Yeah.
2 basic puppies, I should say. It can be useful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said.
Yeah.
It's situational. Number 25.
25. Boss's Orders. It's an action. It's a 1-cost inkable that says chosen character gains support this turn. It's common. Interesting. I mean, I'm glad that it's cheap. Makes it, I think, partially usable.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty
Cheap and
situational, but support can be really strong, right? So you can give a character that's about to die that you've been using to punch everybody else support, quest with them instead, and give something else all the power that character usually punches with. So, it's good, but I don't know that I want to lose a card for it.
Yeah.
That's my general thought is what I suspect would happen to me is I can think of other cards I would rather have than this card, which gives support once.
Yep.
Look at the blue scepter of whatever it is. There's a blue scepter from the first chapter that is an item that does this every turn, versus this is a one and done thing, right? So
it's also a 1 cost.
Yeah,
I believe.
think so.
Isn't it?
Pretty sure, yeah.
It's 1 or 2, so it's still not that much more expensive if it is a 2.
It's a 1 cost.
And you repeat.
Yeah. So
you get to do it every turn.
I'm very meh to me.
That one's a meh. We will move on to 26. Heal what has been hurt. Nice artwork. Could be a good foil.
Could be a really cool
shiny
foil.
3 cost. Inkable. It's an action and a song. A character with cost 3. Well, yeah, you know that part. Remove up to 3 damage from chosen character and draw a card. I guess I shouldn't say and draw a card. Period. Draw a card. They're separate. They work differently.
Slightly different, yeah.
If you don't have any damage, you can just draw a card.
You can still play it to draw a card.
Yep.
Sing it to draw a card. It's weird, but that is how the rules work.
Yep. It's a common. I mean, who doesn't like damage removal and drawing cards? Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Without the draw a card, 3 cost to remove a damage isn't enough. With the draw a card, maybe.
It could be worth it.
Yeah.
Depending on your deck.
Yeah, depends on the deck for sure.
27.
Quick patch action. 1 cost inkable. That's as simple as remove up to 3 damage from a chosen location. I don't even know how to value this yet. Right?
Yeah.
Haven't played with locations. It seems like from the locations that I've seen, a lot of them are already pretty tanky. They seem to have a lot of willpower.
Yep.
The good news for this card is that since they have a lot of willpower, you're likely to be able to go ahead and heal it because they're not going to probably kill it all in one turn. On the downside,
Actually, a lot of them are low cost, so
yeah,
at the beginning of the game, nobody hits that hard.
yeah. So this might get you an extra turn or two. I think I haven't seen enough locations to say that this is definitely worth it. I think there's definitely going to be some situations where it could be worth it. Might get you an extra turn, maybe two with the location. That's going to be 1, maybe 2 lore. If it's a 2 lore location, that's 2 or 4 lore. All of a sudden, that's a lot, right? So, I need to see the locations before I can
the effect.
give final judgment. But it is quote unquote expensive. It's 1 cost. It's not expensive in ink, but it's expensive because it's a card slot in your deck, and it's a card you have to draw when you don't have any locations, or you have only full health locations, right? So you want to draw something else, and this is what you draw. You're going to be sad. But I need to see the locations before I can really give final judgment. I'm not real excited for it right now, though.
Should be getting close to those locations, though.
Think so. Hope so.
On to 28. Not this one. 2 cost, Inkable, The Bare Necessities. It's a song. One of the few songs I actually know of Disney. Well, like, more than 5 words of. Chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a non-character card of your choice.
Wow.
Be prepared. Dragonfire. Let it go. All the awful things that I hate when people play against me. There they are.
Yeah. I like this. This is a rare.
That's cheap.
I do. Yeah, it's a 2 cost song that lets you my brain just went straight into the magic. It lets you discard a card of your choice. That is big, right? So we have some cards now that are shoot. I'm thinking of Sudden Chill. Like this is a flat out better Sudden Chill. Sudden Chill is a 2 cost song. Each opponent chooses and discards a card. Only you get to pick the card. The issue here is it's only a non-character card. So it seems to me right now, at least previously, the decks have been extremely character heavy. Characters generally are how you win the game. They're the only things
Steel Song
previously that could really hit lore. You have Steel Song from the last set, which obviously this would be really good into. Now with locations, this gets stronger because that's another way to get lore and more things that you can hit with it.
I didn't even think about getting rid of locations.
Yeah. So I think I like this a lot. I like this a lot. And knowing some of the cards that are coming up in some of the other colors, I like this a lot. Some of the couple cards I have had spoiled, digging it for sure.
It's gonna be useful.
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna be useful. I think that's going in any Amber deck that I have.
Yeah, likely.
Number 29.
29. It's our first item. It is Cleansing Rainwater, 2 cost inkable item. Like I said, it is with the power that is banish this item and remove up to 2 damage from each of your characters. I like it. It's one of those that
right after I grab your swords.
Yeah, undo, Control Z, please. I think it's good. I don't think it's gonna probably be a 4 of in most decks. I imagine there's gonna be some heals. There might be some crazy heal decks going on out there. Um, but it's interesting. I mean,
I
it's
think
definitely
the
a
biggest thing for
place for it.
this is it's 2 cost, inkable, and you only banish it. You don't have to pay like other cards I feel like that are kind of this strong, they make you pay ink and banish the item. And that is not the case with this, which is really nice. You pay the 2 ink, you set it. Once you need to use it, you use it, and it's gone. I think that's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it'd be good. I mean, even if you only heal 2 characters, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
that's heal 3 or 4 damage for 2. I'm happy with that. So yeah,
it's nice.
yeah, I like it.
It's a common. Interesting. Number 30, the Heart of Atlantis. Non-inkable, 4 cost item. Exert. You pay 2 ink less for the next character you play this turn. So double the cost of a lantern, but double the return.
Double the effect.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Uh, yeah, I honestly I could see cutting down lantern to 2 and putting 2 of these in.
I don't. I think in my thoughts, it's gonna be a little too slow. Given the current meta. Given the current meta, I feel like it's a little too slow. But I've felt that way with a lot of the locations that I've seen coming up to begin with. Is they feel kind of slow. Because they're gonna slow down. I feel like they're gonna slow down the game. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe if locations do slow down the game and kind of create this more of a slow roll into more power generation, maybe it can be relevant. I think in the current set, which obviously this isn't in the current set, but in the current set, I think it's a little bit too slow. I think I'd much rather hit a, be sure to hit that lantern on turn 2 more consistently than take out some lanterns and hope to hit this on turn 3 or 4.
That's true. It could be more useful in a blue amber item deck, I guess. I know there are items that reduce the cost of items. There's also characters that do that.
Yeah. There are ways to reduce the
Could be
cost
interesting.
of items for sure.
There's an item that does it that's new that I saw. I don't remember what it is. And then there's like Belle and Maurice from first set.
Yep. Reese's Workshop, I think.
Hey, look at that.
Our first
I already
location.
saw this one.
Oh yeah, this looks familiar from the very beginning of the video.
We're back.
I forgot it existed.
We didn't go over this though. Well,
Did cover the card.
Did. I don't think I said it was Neverland. It's Neverland. The Mermaid Lagoon. Cost 1, inkable. Cost 1 to move characters there. 4 willpower. 1 more. It's a common.
Something to mention about the location cards, and I know I don't think we've seen a card yet that has this. I know there are cards in other colors that the characters that have effects when they move to locations or while they're at a location. So although this location specifically doesn't have any bonus text that does cool stuff by being a location, some of the characters will have effects by being at the location. So just worth mentioning that will, although this is only a 1-cost 1/4, or I'm sorry, it's a 1-cost 4 willpower location that costs 1 to move to. It's going to be hard for me to shift my brain here. It can still have other value because other characters can move here. Your characters can move here and can trigger effects. And obviously, it's getting you a lore every turn by just existing at the beginning of your turn. So I just wanted to add that couple caveats. I don't know yet. I haven't played with the location. I think it's going to be interesting. It feels a little slow, but it's going to slow your opponents down if they have to deal with it. So, there's nothing on turn 1 or 2 likely that I can think of that would easily attack into this and take care of it within a turn or 2.
No, nothing I can think of either.
So I mean, you're getting at least 1 or 2 lore off it.
Yeah,
That's like a
I'd say
typical
2 or 3.
character.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if this was in my opening hand and I didn't have another 1-drop,
I'm playing it.
send it.
But my question
I'd send
is
it.
not yet if it's in my opening hand. Am I playing it? My question is it in my deck for me to see?
Yeah, I mean,
So, I tell you what, I know I am going to do my darndest to draft a location or 2 and put it in my draft deck just so I can play with
just to
a
try it
location,
out.
just so I can see how it plays.
Better yet, do all locations.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. I'm doing that. I tried to do some of that last time and ended up with like 14 uninkables in my draft deck and was like, oh boy.
Oof.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. That didn't last very long. I will say, about these. Oh, I just lost the thought. Oh, I know I have seen on some other channels that they have had. There are some people who have been playing with some of this set this week. Electronically, because the cards have all been released, so they've just, as long as they're in Dreamborn, you can import them into different games and play with them. I haven't done any of that. Have you done any of that, Brandon? No. So we haven't done any of that. So this is coming into it again with very little
almost blind.
Pretty much blind, yeah. So cool. 33?
33.
33. It is the Pride Lands, Pride Rock. It's a 2-cost uninkable that is 7 willpower, cost 2 to move here, and then has characters get +2 willpower while here. And if you have a prince or king character here, you may pay 1 ink less to play characters. Oh, and it is rare.
That's the first thing to boost willpower.
It is rare.
Right?
Maybe. I think it might be.
I don't think I've ever seen the black character before. I mean, obviously the character's on every character card.
Yeah. But like that icon, you mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of take this piece by piece. +2 willpower while here. That seems pretty strong.
That's huge.
Cost 2 to get here. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. That seems pretty strong to me. And then Lion Home, if you have a prince or king character here, paying 1 ink less to play characters broad spectrum seems really strong, right? That's not pay 1 ink less to play your next character. That is pay 1 ink less to play characters. So all of them are 1 ink less. Yikes. So one thing I did want to mention here that I think is interesting with these locations is this is a 2-cost, so you can get it out on turn 2, which I think you likely will. On turn 3, you could move your turn 1 character here or a turn 3 character, right? Assuming on turn 3 you go up to 3 ink, you could play a 1-cost character and pay 2 to move it to the Pride Lands. So the soonest you would be able to even begin getting value out of this is on turn 3, which I feel is pretty quick. Play a 1-drop on turn 1, play this on turn 2, move your 1-drop here on turn 3, and you could play another 2-drop. You would then have a 2-drop on the board, not at a location. You'd have a 1-drop at the Pride Lands with +2 willpower. Assuming that the first card you played is a prince or a king, I need to do some thinking around.
That exists.
Huh?
I don't think that exists.
I was gonna say I need to do some thinking if there's a
the cheapest prince I can think of is the Simba at 2. The bodyguard Simba.
Yep.
That's the cheapest one I can think of.
Yeah. So that may not be that part might not be feasible either. So I think it is just interesting. I think it's going to be a little bit hard to potentially get things like again, I mentioned it earlier. It just feels slow. So that's all I can say. There is a 1-cost prince. I found one. It's not Amber. It is Flynn. Flynn Rider from the Floodborn.
Oh yeah.
He is a 1-cost 1/3 that you could move here and get that effect on turn 3.
Emerald, right?
Yep. Oh, and there's also a 1-cost Simba that is gray. Steel. There's a steel Simba.
Oh, I forgot about that
from
one.
from the first chapter. So there's a couple of them out there. I think it's a little bit niche, right? It's a little bit niche to get that to trigger off and do exactly like that. But I just use that as an example to be like, that's how slow it is, right? It's a two cost that cost 2 to move here, get it out on turn 2. You can't do that on turn 2. You played this on turn 2, and you can't move anything here because you're out of ink. So,
right.
Turn 3 is the earliest you're going to be able to move something here. You could obviously play a 1-drop and then move something here. That's guaranteed. You could do that on turn 3. But I think it's just going to be really hard it's really hard for me to wrap my mind around what is really going to be able to happen with these locations.
It's going to be interesting. The game is going to completely change.
Yeah. Yep.
I think what I'm most curious about is decks without locations versus location decks.
Yeah.
How that will stack up. That would be very interesting to see.
I think that the aggro deck style is going to become, hard countered by. I think that they will hard counter these location decks, but we'll see. I don't know. I just have to get in it and find out. 34?
Yep. 34.
30.
Tiana's Palace. Uninkable. 3-drop. 2 to move. 8 willpower. Characters can't be challenged while here. Gains 1 more.
That is why it is so hard to understand and wrap my head around the impact of these locations. You have a 8 willpower bodyguard on turn 3. Now, the bodyguard itself is not that bodyguardy because you have to move things here, and that costs 2. Even an 8 willpower bodyguard on turn 5, play it something here on turn 5. I don't know. I'll be interested to see the impact of it. I think these effects will be interesting. It can't be challenged here. Obviously, it's a good way to protect stuff.
I don't think a lot of these are going to be like, oh, it's a 3 ink, so it's third turn drop. I think this is more of a early mid game. Now that I have characters on the board, I'm going to drop this with 3 ink on turn 5. Move somebody there. The next turn, move a bunch of people there. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
The plays are going to be...
I think it's one of those that it's going to really depend on the board position, right? So...
Yeah, for sure.
I think there are definitely times where you might get that out on turn 3, and you're getting it out on turn 3 not for the necessarily for the characters can't be challenged here, but you just know that your opponent isn't probably going to be able to remove it in a couple turns. 8 power on turn 3 is a lot. I'm sorry, 8 willpower, 8 toughness or whatever, is a lot on turn 3. And your opponent's probably not going to be able to remove it. So you're going to get a lore or 2 from it. And if they choose to not attack it for a couple turns, then you get to drop some characters and move them there.
Yeah.
And it's
Plus
still at 8
passive
health.
lore.
And you're still gaining the passive lore. If they do decide to attack this, they aren't attacking your other characters.
Your characters are free. Yeah, it's going to be a mind game more than anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I like it.
Here's your choices.
I want to check it out. I definitely want to play with it. If I draft it, I'm going to put it in the deck.
That's, yeah.
That's
35.
it. We're done. That is Amber.
This is it.
That is
Yeah.
the end of Amber. So
Just kidding. I almost teased you with amethyst. I'm not gonna do
don't
that.
do that. I don't know. I'm digging it. I like the I like the puppies. There were a lot of puppies in this color, right? I think I don't know if there's any
Yes.
puppies in other colors.
I don't believe so.
I haven't seen any that I can recall. I think that it's a very. I feel like the puppies are awfully overpowering for the color. So I feel like it's very much puppies. And if otherwise for this chapter, there's not a ton. There's a few good cards in there. We've got the Keto. You've got, frankly, the puppies.
Kita.
Dang. Whatever. I was close. The big puppies, the mom and dad pups, whatever their names are
Perdita, Pongo.
Yep, those two. They have pretty strong abilities, right?
Yeah, those aren't even just useful in puppy decks.
Yeah.
Those can be in
I
anything.
think those could be useful in other places. The Perdita is definitely favoring the puppy deck, those because it's the 2 cost or less mechanic.
Yeah.
But it could be in other decks. We'll see. We'll see how it plans out. I really feel like it was, for the most part, you might just pull a couple pieces from it. There's not too many staples that are in this set. Or, I'm sorry, in this color, in this set that are going to, you're going to want that a lot. It's not going to be a real big Mufasa style. That's often a good card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. See, there's definitely some. I know you're looking forward to the puppy deck.
I am.
I want to see Kita, see how that -3 attack works for a turn. See, it
That's
could be
gonna
pretty
really
strong,
interesting.
but we'll see.
Yeah, this set last set I was excited for it. This set I am ecstatic. I cannot wait for Friday. Can't get here soon enough. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. We're a new channel. We are going to try and pump out as much content as we can as we get it and get it to you. So please give us a like, a subscribe, hit us up, comment, tell us we're idiots, tell us that card doesn't do what we say it does, all the things. We should be releasing an Amethyst here soon, and we'll see you in that one. Logan, anything else?
That's it. No, we'll see you soon.
Have a good night. We'll see you.